Welcome to the Truro and Colchester Chamber of Commerce Business Voice podcast. In the coming days, we will be hosting discussions with candidates from all three ridings in Colchester County to learn about their perspectives on issues presented through the lens of business. The Chamber represents more than 450 businesses in the Truro and Colchester region and has been the recognized voice of business for 131 years. Normally, when an election is called, we would welcome candidates to debates and town hall sessions. But this year, due to COVID-19 and public health restrictions, we have chosen to err on the side of caution and host one-on-one discussions with our candidates. Our members have had an opportunity to submit questions in advance on topics of importance to them. This series of podcasts for the 41st Provincial General Election are brought to you by the Nova Scotia Association of Realtors. All right, well, today we'd like to welcome Merlyn Smith, the Liberal candidate for Colchester North. Welcome, Merlyn.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me here today.
Well, I think we'll start off by having you tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. As you said, Merlyn Smith, the Liberal candidate for Colchester North. I've lived in the area for 30 years in the Valley area. Have a family. I've pretty much all grown up now from that area. Been an active volunteer firefighter with the Valley County Town and District Fire Brigade for 27 years. Been a local business person here in the Truro area. Have run the Petra Canada and Thai Express for the past 15 years. We've grown that business probably 3 different time periods. Now have a Starbucks in there as a tenant as well, and certainly enjoy being within the whole Truro and Colchester North area as helping the community grow and prosper. The other item that I've been doing is I've been the president of the Colchester Firefighters Association for the past 22 years. I've represented that group back to municipality as their contact. So I do know how the government does work, and the thing that position has been elected on a yearly basis. So I've been doing something right to be voted back there 22 years in a row. On that side as well, going through on the emergency measures side, I sit on the emergency management committee for the Colchester County, which we've sit down, go through plans and procedures of what to look at and to put the emergency plans in, not just for Colchester, but also for our whole area. Just depends on what's going on, and that includes outlying areas, say Stuyak and everybody as well. Town of Truro's in that, Colchester County's in that as well. So been very active in the community, and that's what brings me to put my name forward as a candidate to run for the Liberals in Colchester North, as I want to give back to the community in a greater position in the provincial area.
Great. Well, thanks so much for that background. So we poll our members on an ongoing basis so that we're aware of the topics that are of greatest importance to them. Certainly during an election, we want to make sure that those issues are brought forward to our candidates. So let's start with this question. Many of our businesses across every sector are experiencing a lack of human resources, which is unprecedented in many cases. What is your plan to address the critical need to fill these employment vacancies?
First off, I can contest to that as being in the business side of things. We certainly have had a challenge of trying to find the right candidates for the positions, and that we've been running ads and trying to fit in the pieces of the puzzle, so to speak. So I do know that living through it myself, that it is certainly a huge challenge with the Liberal government. That we're looking at is to increase the capacity at the Nova Scotia community colleges for the demand for workers, and we're looking to invest $77.8 million for that side of the things as well. Just trying to help to build a stronger economy and to attract people to the area as well that can help alleviate some of those issues for us.
Okay, well, another topic that has been highlighted by our business community is that the lack of physician recruitment in the area, lack of family physicians, directly tied to economic growth here is having an impact on their ability to attract and retain employees. What will your party do to address this?
No, I do understand that it's been a difficult time period to recruit physicians to the area, and just not to here, through to the province as well. I do have friends and that at the present time do not have doctors, and it is a concern to not have a family physician at the present time period. The doctors recruitment for our area is a top priority for our government, and making sure that we do have physicians that are looking to come into the province, and making sure that that recruitment process is going forward. The Liberal government is looking to put $5 million into a new department to just look at recruitment for physicians for the province in the area. Also, the Colchester East Hants Health Authority has programs in place, and also through the hospital there has been residency programs that are there that hopefully, when they're done the residency programs in this area, then they'll stay here and help with the doctors in our area as well.
All right. Well, another major concern for our business community is certainly taxes. Nova Scotia has some of the highest taxes in the country, and there's grave concern about the impact of the cost of COVID. We know that relief measures needed to be put in place for business, for community, for people during very difficult times during COVID. But how will this debt be repaid?
At the present time, we are the only party out there that has a plan in place that is fully costed, and we have a full plan out in the community. Other parties have had plans or partial plans that they put out there, but we are the only plan that is fully costed, and in 4 years to have the debt under control. And with saying that, there's no extra cost to the taxpayer. I'm not looking to increase taxes or anything of that nature.
Okay. In the previous answer, you touched on, the need to attract people to the community, and that's a good segue into the next question. The purchase and rental housing supplies are near historic lows in Nova Scotia. How will you increase supply to ensure there's a healthy housing mix that includes the entire spectrum from community housing, rental, and home ownership?
In through the area, the government is looking at different affordable housing projects. Again, whether it's other row housing or cap on housing, with looking at just a 2% increase. Got to take a look at both sides of the equation, making sure that, again, if it's just housing we're looking at, it's not housing, it's clean housing that we need to take a look at. Again, some place that a person wants to call home. Okay, we can look at housing and say it's an affordable house or whatever else. But again, if you don't want to live there and I don't want to live there, okay, it's something not that's going to be effective for everybody. So again, we're looking at clean housing that can be affordable for the masses.
Okay. Some of our businesses have expressed concern that the current procurement process by government makes it challenging for small businesses to compete with tenders. How will your party look at the current procurement process with the lens on increasing opportunities for Nova Scotia businesses of all sizes?
Okay, for the procurement process, again, the Economic Growth Council is headed by our government. What we're looking at doing there is helping small business to develop different things. Procurement process could end up becoming one of them. If you take a look at the procurement process right now, we do have educational pieces that are online. There is a video there. There's also some PDFs that are available. And then also we could probably end up looking at doing an educational piece. Again, coming here to the chamber, having somebody from the procurement office come here, talk about how the process is, how to do it. Yes, it can be daunting for the first time, but again, if we go through the educational piece and maybe team here with the chamber, if even be sitting down and going through procurement piece of paper, I think that'd be a great item for us to look at going forward with you guys.
Great. We certainly love collaboration. Current red tape and high costs for permits and moving through the process to grant permission for exporting products to markets outside Nova Scotia is preventing some local manufacturers and producers from reaching new markets. How will your party simplify the process for out-of-province exports to improve cooperation between the provinces?
Again, that goes back to our looking at the Economic Growth Council that has put their proposal together back in June. They had put 18 pieces of recommendation to the government of that time period, looking to get rid of red tape, helping entrepreneurs and helping small businesses, getting rid of the fees for the first 2 years for small businesses as well that are starting up. Again, that's the big thing that we're looking at through that time period. We want to help small business. Small business is the backbone of the economy, and we want to make sure that it keeps going. The Economic Growth Council is not finished at the present time. They get another report coming out in September. So again, we keep looking forward to helping small business in making sure that they are here in the province and that they're prospering.
So climate change is on everyone's minds these days, and supporting a reduction of greenhouse gases and implementing environmentally friendly practices is necessary to build a healthy future in Nova Scotia. What new supports to assist in greening business will your party bring forward?
With that, again, looking at the environment is a huge item as we take a look at not just here, the whole world as we move forward. If we can put the same effort into the environment as we've had through COVID-19, we'll end up making some great inroads. We're going to invest $45 million over the next 5 years for innovation for businesses, and also do a 25% rebate for creation of innovation for anything going forward for the greener economy. Also, we're looking to do things for our provincial buildings as well. Being a leader going forward is also going to look at 100% renewable energy for the provincial buildings by 2025. So again, looking at that one is, again, not just talking about it, we're going to do it ourselves, going out there. Also looking at being off coal by 2030 as well. That's 10 years sooner than what was planned previously.
So driving around the province of Nova Scotia, now that public health restrictions have lifted and we can kind of go outside of our neighborhoods and explore a little bit, there's no doubt that there's a greater investment that needs to be done to fix roads and aging bridges around the province, and particularly in our rural areas. What is your party's plan to ensure that trade-enabling infrastructure improvements are done to support the movement of supplies and services, as well as growth in the tourism sector?
If you take a look at our roads, the roads are something that's being taken care of right now. Obviously, we're looking to increase the budget on those. Bridges have been taken a look at, and they are being replaced. You can see on your drive to Halifax at the present time and around the area that bridges have been a priority, and that we are starting on that plan to replace them. On gravel roads and stuff of that nature, we've increased the budget by double of what it was previously. So we do know that we need to take care of the roads and infrastructure to make sure that we can keep goods going and keep tourism moving freely within our province.
So I have another question related to infrastructure. The lack of access to high-speed internet and cell coverage continues to plague our area, our province. Again, it's particularly challenging in rural areas to access services without adequate internet and cell service. We understand that there are projects underway for greater access to internet. However, cell service is still necessary to grow business, and there is a gap there. What is your party's plan to address this gap?
With the internet in through the area, yes, certainly going through COVID-19, we have seen what we need for good internet service. We were all at home some of the time periods, interacting with family members that we couldn't see for 18 months over an iPad or a screen or something of that nature. The infrastructure that's being put into place, again, with the County of Colchester and the Cumberland County, they have put a funding agreement in place with funding from both the federal and provincial governments to make sure that they have good rural broadband, and the other cost that's going to be shared between Colchester and Cumberland to finish that project as well.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for your insight on these issues and sharing your perspectives. In closing, is there anything else that you would like to share with us?
Well, again, I'd just like to thank the Chamber for having me here today and talking about the topics that are a concern to business community and what we need to do going forward. Obviously, being the candidate here for Colchester North for the Liberal Party, I believe that we have the plan, and again, we have the costed plan to make sure that at the end of the day, we're not putting any more burden onto the taxpayers and also businesses within the province in Colchester North. So again, to have the seat at the table, taking a look at what I've done previously within business and then also in the emergency service side of things, I believe I'm the candidate to represent Colchester North to Halifax because of what I stand for, and I look at and I listen to people and make sure that they're heard, and I'll pass that along as I stand for all the residents and all the residents of Colchester North.
Great. The Chamber would like to thank all the candidates who made time in their busy schedules to come in and discuss important business issues with our Chamber, to bring these to our members in this format. We'd also like to give a huge thank you to our sponsor, the Nova Scotia Association of Realtors, who made these podcasts possible. We encourage everyone to get out and have your voice heard by voting in the election.